we're gonna be having some fun today, my boy, because we are gonna be reacting to my favorite misogynist, Myron Gaines. Well, kind of. He's been invited on this show, which is essentially just 4 jacked people and 4 obese people, and they're basically, I'm guessing they're gonna have like a debate. I'm saying I'm guessing. I've seen the whole thing, and it's comedy that writes itself. You know, the Jubilee producers knew exactly what they were doing when they brought Myron on this. Because, no, you'll see. I don't even need to say it. You'll see. Okay?
I see.
I have felt disgusted looking at a fat body.
I have felt disgusted looking at a fat body. Now, Dennis, have you ever felt disgusted looking at a fat body?
Every time in the mirror. I'm sorry. But, so, the point is, you do look much better when you take care of yourself. Period.
Oh,
Period.
bro, I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. I was not ready. I was not ready. Okay. You know what? Hey, fair play. That was good.
Man, I think there is no point in lying. I don't know one fat person who says that, you know what, I'm happy with how I look. I'm happy that I'm obese. I'm happy that, what do they call them? Love handles are handling? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah, exactly.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, either way you dress it, it's not good, man. It's simply not good. You have to acknowledge your own body. Nobody is perfect. Even if you are jacked, you will still not be completely 100% happy with who you are unless you're a narcissist. Or there are, I guess, some people who can say that, you know what, I'm at a good stage, I don't need to improve much further, or what else.
Nah, bro, Myron Gaines is the epitome of just physique, bro. Like, as you see, he's just completely confident in his body.
Oh.
Loser, bro. Anyways, let's continue.
All I wanted to say is nobody who I ever saw, how can I say it, man? The type of person that you would see them and you would call them wise, you would call them smart, you would be like, oh, okay, this is someone I would really like to follow. I've never seen one of them being like, oh, look how amazing my body is, and y'all are trash, but I worked on mine, so ha. You know?
Right.
It's just,
Yeah, no, I get that.
Whoever feels compelled to start us off.
Well, it's unacceptable to be fat.
Okay. That's a great start. I mean,
What
This
did
is
you
what
say?
I said when I said it's unacceptable to be fat.
Ah.
I mean, no. I just think it's great, not because it's just the way it came out. Like, it's unacceptable. That's the first thing you say. That's crazy. But
Yeah.
any case, I mean, the Jubilee producers knew what they were doing when they brought this guy on. They wanted the
let's bring some
controversy,
mayhem.
and they brought it. Yeah, exactly.
I know why you say that, but it's one of those things where, do you know why you're saying that?
Yes, because I've been fat before and I lost the weight.
Well, me too. I've been fat my whole life. I've been way skinnier than I am now, and I've been way heavier than I am now. Was I less valuable at one point in there?
Well, I mean, you can make an argument that you're less valuable when you're fatter because you drain resources, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, in
Jesus
general,
Christ.
being fat is unacceptable because you...
Listen, like, if you think this is the worst thing he says, you're not ready for what's gonna come later on. You're
No,
not
like-
ready.
What I'm saying is, I'm watching it from a Christian perspective, okay? Telling the creation of God that he's less valuable. Eesh.
Yep.
Eesh.
See,
I'm sorry.
so-
I'm sorry.
It's just I knew it was gonna be good as soon as I saw the thumbnail, but I wasn't ready for what's coming, because you're not ready for what's happening later on. And for the audience that's watching, there's something that he says later on which is fucking crazy. And I'm not being hyperbolic, it actually is so. Watch till the end, because ironically, that's when it happens.
Not. I just can't understand.
You can't
nobody
assume that
thinking
everyone has the same opinion though, because unfortunately, some people have emotional stuff that happened, traumatic stuff that's happened, so you can't discount and just say, oh, because they're fat.
Oh, man. Like, there's way worse stuff going out in the world versus people saying, oh my God, I'm sad, I'm gonna eat some ice cream. It's like, no, dude, it's like, you're fat, you made that decision, you live in the best country ever. If you live in a civilized, first world country where you have electricity, internet power, etc., you deserve to be bullied. It's ridiculous to me that we have...
You deserve to be bullied.
Like,
How do you feel about bullying, bro? Should we bring back
He lost me
bullying in
3
2020?
sentences ago, but when he said that, I was like, excuse me.
Oh, no, it gets worse. You ain't ready. This is why, listen, Myron, God bless him, because he is comedy that writes itself, right?
He said at some point, like, you live in the best country in the world, where, okay, does that change the fact that I'm going through some problems? Say that I'm going through some problems. How me knowing that I live in the best country in the world help me? oh, I can not
Because I
starve to
guess
death,
you
I
have
can engorge
access-
myself of food to death.
I guess you have access to resources, so you don't have excuses, I suppose.
So you can
But-
overuse these resources, and not only that, don't we all go through troubles? Isn't he the prime example of overusing? What was it? Access to women? No, that was his other guy, wasn't he? Which one of Fresh and Fit was the one that was impregnating women left and right?
That was Fresh.
Fresh. Thank you.
Walter. This guy's Myron, so yeah.
What did this guy do?
Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Anyway.
He did other things that I cannot say right now because, well, yeah, we're gonna get blocked. So yeah, but he did quite a few other things, and
Listen,
I'm too Christian
we all
to
know
address
that
this.
Myron did the Triple K. We know that. We know he
Yes.
did Triple K action.
Yes.
It's fine.
So that's one thing.
It's fine.
He's abusing his position to bring other men to his level and take his money. What happened with his yacht? Yacht? How do you
Yeah,
pronounce
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
He-
3,500 yacht where people got scammed just
Man,
to be in a sweaty party. That's crazy.
From what I saw, the boat we used in Turkey was the same.
Yes, and actually, if I have some pictures, I'm gonna show it. I don't think I do, but if I do, I'm gonna show it. And it was literally like we had like a trip in Turkey, and wasn't it something like £5 or less? I can't even remember how much it was, but it was basically pennies.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, granted, it wasn't like a full-on party, so I guess that's that. But like,
What I'm saying
really-
is, the vibe was the same. The environment was the same.
Yes. Yeah,
What
yeah, yeah.
was really the difference? Because I think I've pretty showed it in a video of theirs, that they showed the picture that they were promoting versus the actual boat, which was just a commercial boat repurposed. That was about it.
I'm disgusted. Like, if I see somebody that's a drug addict on the street that's homeless, I'm not disgusted by that. If I see somebody that's incredibly overweight, I'm not disgusted by that. Do I think that there's an opportunity for growth? Do I think they've been put in a disadvantageous position that's probably makes it harder for them? Absolutely. I think I'm kind of an empath, so when I see somebody, I know that there's things underlying. And one of my best friends is 400 plus pounds. I've helped him lose 150, 200 pounds. He's gained it back. And I don't look at him and say, I'm disgusted, but I know how bad he wants it. And just seeing how hard he tries and then reverts, it's almost more tough for me than to be like, oh, that's disgusting, you know?
You know what? I find it really comedic that arguably the most jacked guy there is the nicest one out of all of
Yeah.
them.
The
I do
only thing
find
that
it
I'm
humorous.
sad for is that he's very jacked. I'm happy for him, but that's not natural.
No. He knows that, and he is gonna
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
it out later on. He openly says that he is on roids, and actually, the guy that's next to him, he's Greg Doucette. I don't know if you know him.
I don't know.
He was on roids, not anymore, but he does actually regret that fact, and that's something that he brings up later on. Have you abused your body at some point? And he says he does. You know, like he regrets that. He actively says that shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know. So all these people that get jacked, they don't necessarily think they're superior to, you know, obese people in some
Yeah.
way. What they've done to themselves is the equivalency of engorging themselves in food. It's the same thing.
We all struggle with something.
So-
That's the point. For
Yeah,
some it's
so-
food, for others it's women, for some it's their self-image. Yeah, and that's why we lead Lord in our life.
Amen.
Amen indeed. No.
Deciding to bulk, like that's a conscientious decision to gain weight. Like you already have those habit routines and skills in order to stay in shape, and then you use those same skills you had to pull back on the calories and knowledge you had.
The reason why I use that example is that you can get fat and lose the weight if you know what you're doing and you have the knowledge and everything else like that. It's just about consistency over time. So it's like, I look
So,
at it
Boy,
like,
let me cut you off because here's one thing that you just said.
Yeah.
You have the tools. So there's people that don't have the tools that you've passed judgment on, and you have failed to realize that with the tools, people are very much capable of achieving amazing things. But
okay, let's talk about set
no,
tools
hold
then.
on, I'm not done.
Well, you cut me off
I'm
before,
not done.
remember?
And I stood over there and I listened to you, and I was like, it's a bullshit too.
Oh, sure.
But we're gonna address this, right?
Yeah.
You are passing judgment on people who lack the tools to do what it is that they need to do to get themselves to a certain point of health. There are multitudes of factors that weighs into what goes on with somebody's body. There are people that even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just going to the gym, cutting calories, watching everything that you eat. There are some people that
I like how condescending my homeboy was. You know, and that's how you know that. You know how these people always like to clown school, but if you actually do a little bit of academic studies, there are conditions like PCOS, hypothyroidism, or just thyroid problems, which actually hamper your efforts in losing weight because your hormones don't work in the same way that they do for a normal person. But all this guy sees, he sees it at such a basic surface level. I'm Myron. He sees it at such a basic level. You know he's uneducated, and of course he's uneducated because why would you otherwise have a podcast where you just kick out hoes and that's your primary source of income? Let's keep it 100.
That's true.
Let's keep it 100.
He's famous,
Right?
but not for the right reasons.
Exactly, he's famous but not for the right reasons, like 80% of some influencers. But I digress. Bringing him back to this point, the whole point of this, he is completely uneducated in what some conditions may bring you. Now, there is something to be said. Have these people, do there exist people with thyroid that have still managed to lose weight regardless of their solution? Yes, there are. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it is significantly more difficult than someone who has normal hormone levels. It is a privilege to have normally function hormones, and I am privileged in that sense because my hormones were perfectly fine, and I'm glad because I know that if this shit was more difficult, I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah. Can I just
What do
say,
you say?
side note, I love the way Devin is dressed. That green with the black shirt
You know what? It
underneath.
is.
I don't know.
I rate it.
It's
I rate it.
fire. I really
I do
like
rate
it.
Yeah. My brother's got that color palette on point.
Yeah.
But any case.
But also one thing that I noticed is obviously he's really struggling to breathe because of the weight that you have. That really is a problem. And I noticed, who was it? It was a family member. I forgot who. Someone, like an extended family, not close family, who was very overweight, and they were struggling to breathe. And every sentence, they had to go like to catch their breath, like that. And that's really something that like you notice. If you gain too much weight all of a sudden, you can notice it quite quickly. If you don't gain it too quickly, then you sort of struggle, but because it's so slow, you slowly get used to it, and you don't really acknowledge that, oh gosh, I'm much worse than I used to be. You know what I mean?
You know what? I've bulked in the past, and like I don't think I necessarily have problems with. Well, definitely. Let's just say that walking. So like walking for an extended period of time, I'm definitely gonna go from this is a breeze to.
One thing
or
for
another
me.
thing is my body's just gonna like go jelly, like just the rolls are gonna be moving up and down, and that just feels uncomfortable. Like say for example, when you're running, when my man tits are just moving up and down, like bouncing up and down, that shit ain't comfortable.
Please, those are pecs.
No. When I bulk up, they're tits, they're man tits. It is what it is. Anyways, continue.
But does that mean that I'm not active? Does that mean that I'm not doing certain things? No, it doesn't. But you're passing judgment on somebody's body that you know nothing about. Now, on the flip side, what if I turned around and I did the same thing to you? You're talking about how fit and stuff that you are, but you're over there and you're smallest compared to these other guys.
That was a good one, man. That was a good one. Oh gosh, what happened to this guy?
Fatality.
Yes, fatality. Yes, fatality. Damn, that was amazing. Whoosh.
It is. I mean, I think it's great because sometimes these clowns that just think they're on top need to get brought down a peg. You know, I really do think that's the case because like this guy thinks he's all that hot shit, but then if you look at him, I think even the guy that stands next to even the guy that stands next to him is skinny. It's like I think he's more jacked. So I think it's fantastic that you can talk all this game, but then you kind of lack that self-awareness, and I think Myron is just lacking in self-awareness.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he absolutely does. 100%
I'm not gonna let him. I'm not gonna let him reply because I don't think it's worth it. We're just gonna move on to the next bit. Jacked men are more attractive than fat men. Let's see.
Men are more attractive
Come
than
on,
fat
let's
men.
be honest.
Will the agreeers
Let's
please
be
step
honest.
forward?
Let's be honest.
People that say otherwise is a lie.
How come there's four
Yeah,
guys?
let's be honest.
Exactly.
Alright, we're
exactly
living
what
in
he said. Exactly what he said. How comes there's 4 guys there? Let's keep it 100. So what I was saying is, let's keep it 100. You're really disingenuous if you say I'm attractive by being fat. Like, no, you're not. I remember when I was fat, bro, I was getting zero attention, my guy. And I'm talking nada, alright?
Yeah.
But as soon as you lose weight, you get, like, the way you're being perceived in society changes. The way people talk to you changes. You can see that they put more respect on you,
Yeah.
right? Like, instantly, it's night and day, and I know because I've been through that change. And anybody who says otherwise, I think is slightly disingenuous. Now, can fat people get some? Yes, they can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, they can. But if we're talking, are jacked or physically fit people more attractive? Yes, they are, and it's not even a question.
Yeah.
Anyways, any points you want to address?
No, like I completely agree. It is quite disingenuous to be like, wait. So there are some people who have a little bit of a tummy, like you can't see their abs, and they still get mad attention, and that's fair and that's normal. However, we're not talking obese. We're not talking people who are severely overweight. That is simply unattractive. Simple as that.
Yep.
Now, women do search for other things rather than just physical attributes. That's fair. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. However, women also like to have something they can put their hands on.
Pause.
Pause indeed, because that can be interpreted so many other ways. Damn it. Please carry on. Please carry on. I'm digging my own hole here.
I shall.
World where people don't see the truth. Like, how is it possible that they're thinking, no, being obese and unhealthy is more attractive than being fit and healthy? How is this possible?
You actually know what? This is precisely why a majority of women find the majority of men as unattractive. Because a lot of guys think this way. Oh, I just be a nice guy and girls are gonna like me. No, they're not. She's not gonna suck your dick with the same ferocity when you're fat as when you're in shape. She's just not. See, people don't understand that women are aroused by one thing and they're attracted by another thing. Women are attracted to, a guy that's confident, ambitious, makes money, etc. Of course, right? But they're aroused by guys that have soul tendencies, dark triad traits, etc., and guys that are physically in shape. So if you want to get the best of your woman, where she respects and admires you, while simultaneously being aroused by you, so she doesn't cheat on you, you need to have it all.
You just know that, like, as soon as this question was asked, Myron was sitting in the back being like, this is my time to shine.
My expertise has arrived.
Whole podcast. So you just know that as soon as this question was laid out, he was there like, I'm ready.
Yeah, and yet it's like, I guess it depends a lot on the type of people that you surround yourself with. But in my experience, it's not necessarily that. Usually when women are attracted by someone, they can also get turned on by them, I don't know any woman who was particularly attracted, like maddeningly attracted by someone purely because of their physique. Or
but I agree.
If
with
anything,
it's not, the thing is that the physique gets your foot in the door, and if you can't get your foot in the door, you can't open that door.
True.
That's the point, right? So
but also, I know quite a few people who, again, I'm not talking about morbidly obese. I'm not talking about people who are so fat that it's obviously unhealthy. I'm not talking about this type of people. Like just moderately chubby, like less than me.
But I think in this case, I guess when they're talking about fat, they're talking about that extreme, right?
I guess
if we're talking about jacked men, if we're talking about jacked men on one end, we are basically assuming the complete polar opposite.
Yeah.
Right?
I see.
So that's what they're talking about here. Okay. Anyways, I kind of want to give the...
But then by his whole definition, Myron would not be attractive because he's not as jacked compared to the guy in the yellow shirt.
We agree, but what are you going to do? Anyways, I want to give the fat people like a chance to speak because I want to see what they say.
I am a big and tall model by trade. That's what I do. I model clothing brands. I've modeled with major fashion houses. I've been on the covers of magazines.
I was about to say, he doesn't do
before dad bod comments and whatnot on social media. I was flabbergasted when I started how many people were commenting and DMing me and talking about how attractive I was. That it just kind of, showed me that attraction is a lot more subjective than I thought, and people have a much wider range of what they find attractive than specifically a body type.
I think the lumberjack guy on the fat man side is also probably the one that makes the most amount of sense. And actually there's another guy, the guy that has braids. He also is at the same time like quite realistic, but the lumberjack guy, you can just tell like he's actually genuine. And you know what? I can 100% see women looking at this guy and saying,
exactly,
I like that. I can see it 100%, because my guy's got good hair, nice beard, and like an not a bad frame. Like, okay, is he obese? Sure, but he's got a
He
good
still looks
frame on
good.
him.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's a lot
So
of
that's
his
why I'm like,
demeanor.
it's-
He's relaxed. He's trying to like understand the other person's opinion while also presenting his own.
I'm
Anybody-
sexually fluid. So my law of attraction does not adhere to anyone's standards, pretty much.
Yes, Tevin, we noticed that.
You could be jacked.
What does that mean, my boy?
We noticed that you're fluid. We saw it, yeah. That's fine. No worries.
We need to go back to shaming fat people. We need to go back to making fun of them. I mean, if I was president, hell, I'd put all of them in a fat concentration camp so they could.
Did you hear it?
I heard it.
I would put all of them in a fat concentration camp.
Jesus Christ.
My G. My G. Now, okay, I'm not gonna take it out
And
of
Jubilee
context. I'm
did
gonna
not
play
carry
the
out.
rest of it.
Jubilee did not.
No. I'm gonna play it because there is some context, even though I think the context is really dumb. But any case, just let me play it.
Concentrate on dieting and exercising because.
Concentrate on dieting. But bro, the way you phrase it is completely.
Nah, he
Dosh.
knew what he was
That's how
saying.
you
He
know.
knew
Yeah,
what he was saying.
absolutely he knew. Absolutely he knew what he was doing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just fishing. He's fishing for that controversy, right? He just needs to go that extra mile. And I really would like to see Myron in a debate with someone that can actually keep themselves composed and not fall for his bullshit. Because I think none of his tricks would work anymore. Because
But do you think he would go one of those?
wins, the reason why Myron wins these debates is because he always argues with people that get instantly triggered and are no longer be able to focus rationally. But the second they would be, it's over. The second they would be able to do that, it's done. Because at that point, he's
Yeah,
not
but do you know
able
what he does
to-
then? He leaves. This podcast is toxic.
true.
It's not made for real men. I was just wasting time there. It was clear that I couldn't speak with anybody. They're just idiots. Or if it's his podcast, he makes you leave. Leave my stage or whatever it is that they record with. Leave this place, please. Something like that. How many women hasn't he thrown out because they disagreed with him and they were actually making good points?
I don't know, man. Like the whole video has been like, it's been really good to see the two sides opposing each other, but then I feel like it's kind of been ruined by Myron.
Yeah.
The whole way through, just because. I mean, look at the way he speaks. He's on purpose inflammatory because he knows that that's what's gonna throw these people off, right? And I feel like if you took out that inflammatory aspect, everybody would have a lot more of a civil conversation, and I would actually think it would get somewhere. But alas, it's not to be. Anything you want to say?
Like probably before there used to be this pressure to not dive into eating unhealthy food or not too much of it,
right?
Or keeping themselves in check. But once they moved in together, they didn't have that external pressure anymore. They weren't keeping each other in check, and they just started to spiral down together. You know, that's what I was thinking that it could
and
happen.
it was both of them, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
the both of them.
Yeah, that's really bad because essentially you're just destroying both of yourselves. Now,
And man, do you know what's the saddest part? They were both so good looking. They were both so good looking.
Right.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Coming back to this whole
What other
like,
people
to
would say,
conclude
man,
this
what
whole
matters
episode,
mostly
I
is that
think
they're happy together.
fat people
Well, yeah,
and
but
fat
what
people
matters
are
to me is for
sides
how
of
long are they going to be happy
the
like
same
that.
coin. Huh?
What matters to me is for how long are they going to be happy like that.
Right.
Because sooner or later,
my point being,
with that amount of fat in your body, something is going to happen. Some organ is going to start working less properly. And you don't want that to be your heart.
The two sides of the same coin, because in the same way that fat people can die from heart conditions, really steroided people can also die from heart conditions early on, or you can end up like Ronnie Coleman, who's in wheelchairs because he was pushing his body to the limits. Actually, in this episode, I didn't really get to the clip. I wish I did, but Greg Doucette talks about how he tried to break, and he did break, the world bench press record, but at the cost of that came that he could never do the lift again. Because of how much wear and tear that
Yeah.
took to break the bench press record. It is not worth it to abuse your body in this way on either side,
Yeah.
right? On either side, I think it's a good idea to just be natural, lift heavy, you know, do cardio. That's fantastic. But when it gets to the point where you get steroided in order to break some sort of ego record, because that's what it is ego record, that's when you put your health at risk. And
Yeah.
that's the moment where it doesn't become worth it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.